Bam! Welcome to the show tonight, going live, Prose Legal School. We provide the tools you need to shut down the court process and, protect your property and all. Welcome to the program tonight. So we're going to have two live streams tonight. This first one, we're going to talk about property tax stuff, and then in about 15, 20 minutes, we're going to have another live stream, and we're going to cover, we're going to cover what's going on in my foster kid's divorce case. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to throw it on the table. The attorney that filed the divorce against my foster kid, even though my foster kid used my marriage dissolution document, placed it on public record and did all that stuff. Yeah, well, he dismissed the divorce case and withdrew from, and left the cheating person over there by herself. But we're going to object to that just because we're butt heads. Fact of the matter is, the attorney told her that nothing that they got off my website is going to help anybody do anything because it wasn't signed by a judge. Well, the document was signed by my foster kid, Rodney Coble, and you guys that invest in the premium packages ended up with some of the documents that I put together for him, and his name is still on it because I haven't had time to change it. You just change the red font, replace it with your information. And so, I got B. Hendricks. What's up, B? So, what state do you live in? Well, we're going to talk about this property tax situation, and if I need to, what we're going to do, I said in my video that I was going to have the property tax package marked down, but I have another job during the day, and I work for this fancy Airbnb somewhere at an undisclosed location, and I was kind of busy today, and I forgot to do that. So, Humira, if you're watching this stream tonight, if you could take care of that, sweetie, I would really appreciate it. We want to put the property tax package on sale for $250. I'm pretty sure that's what I said in the video, and I remember that. Of course, Humira is in Pakistan, so I think it's like early in the morning there or something. I don't know, so she may not be watching. But at any rate, at the end of the video, at the end of the live stream, then I'll go to the website and we do sit down for anybody that's interested in getting it. Now, it had been increased because we added a little firepower to it, and it now has two lawsuits in it. It has a lawsuit for the property tax situation, and I included the 42 U.S.C. 1983 foreclosure lawsuit in there as well to go after them again for violating your due process or whatever and dragging you into their administrative court. Okay, so let's go ahead and say hi to everybody else since we already doing that. Mel Head, welcome to the show. Eddie from Florida. And Heather, welcome to the show tonight. Okay, so the property tax situation starts after they register your deed in the office. And we already talked about there's no law that says that they have authority, jurisdiction to register your deed. There's no law that says you need to put your deed in their office. And all of the consequences from putting your deed in the office are what you're suffering right now. I'm just telling you. Okay? Once your deed was registered, that allowed the first illegal lien to be put on your property. The first illegal lien was a mortgage lien. And the reason it was illegal Was it because, I mean, come on, stay with me. The reason it was illegal, think about it this way. There were several people who owned property. All of the owners would have to be present to sign. So the fact that they accepted the signature from your habeas proved that you own that shit already. Now, here's the thing. Our debt's supposed to be paid, and when they took away gold and silver and came out with these bullshit Federal Reserve notes and switched over from codes and statutes, you know. Okay, so that's a whole new YouTube channel and a whole bunch of other videos. So we don't have time to get in that, but we like to keep it simple. And the fact of the matter is, they would not have been able to accept your signature on the property deed or the mortgage, whatever, if you didn't own it already. So we're going to throw that on the table. Okay, now let's get to the property tax, because that's a little bit about the property. The property tax situation started after they registered your deed in the office, so they could already start charging you for that shit over there. Okay, then that's when your property was reclassified after the registration for the sole purpose of taxation. And in the Constitution, not once but twice, it says private property is not to be taxed. End of the story. So they got to change that shit from private property to one of their three commercial designations, which is, commercial, agricultural, or residential. And residential actually means it's a government official's house that a government official lives in. And I have people ask me, okay, don't even go there. I've done my homework, and you can go do yours too. So, okay, so once they reclassify your property, now Lawrence, Kansas said they have 13 classifications. No, I didn't look them up. I did not look them up. Okay, because, just the three that I know about is total bullshit. So I don't even want to know what the hell else. So we ain't going to go there. Okay, so they reclassify your property for the sole purpose of taxation. Now, I have people telling me, I pay cash and I this and I that. Why are you here? You're here because the people before you or people before them or somebody along the way allowed it to be registered. And when you pay cash, I'm just going to throw this on the table because attorneys ain't going to tell you this shit. When you pay cash, they should deliver your deed to your house, like the statutes for property transfer mandates. You're supposed to deliver the deed to your house. Now, if you pay cash, they should take that shit out and give it to you. How they're going to take total cash and then still jam you up for property tax for the rest of your freaking life? I don't know. It don't make no sense, but that's how they do it. So, Monique, this sounds like a question. I don't. So you need to go to the email, I guess, the snail mail for the email, because I don't. When I'm doing my live stream, we're going to talk about what I want to talk about. I don't do the coaching here. If I did that for you, everybody else would be here too already, like they were trying to do. So, and so that's how that works. We have the coaching group on Twitter, and then we have the emails for the snail mail. Now, if you invest in a premium package, then we have another protocol for that, but it still involves going to the coaching group. The coaching group has all of the stuff that people have trouble with and the answers to all of those things in the group. And people miss out on that when they don't take the happy ass over there and look at it. Because I don't care if your accounts got jammed up. I don't care about none of that. What I care about is in this program, you got to be willing to do whatever it takes. and I had a young man on Facebook arguing with me, wanted me to do a bunch of stuff because he didn't have time to go to the group. Well, I have a lot of people that I'm helping, and I don't have time to help individual people and individual stuff doing individual things who don't have time to go to the group. Most of those people who don't have time to go to the group don't take the time. No offense to you, because I don't know if you watched it or not. I'm just talking about most people, okay, they don't take the time to watch the updated instructional videos or join the group. I'm just saying. So I'm not going to answer your question. The updated instructional video has what's going to happen. I already tell you they're going to dismiss it in the instructions, and I already tell you what you're supposed to do and why it got dismissed. So if it got dismissed and you're just now waiting to bring it up during one of my live streams, I don't think it's a high priority on your list, and it certainly ain't high on my list because we're talking about something else tonight. So property tax, baby. Thank you, B. You know, I know people came to hear what we're supposed, the title of what we're talking about, because that's why we have this set up this way. And I don't coach here. Now, at the end of the program or whatever, you know, I don't mind fielding questions, but they got to be questions that everybody else is interested in, and they got to be questions that aren't covered in this in the instructional video and the updated instructional videos. Otherwise, you know, people are, you know, back to the precious time. I appreciate that, B. Thank you. Okay, so let's just stay focused here. So the challenge property tax package had to change the name and dumb it down a little bit, so to speak, because all these people, these attorneys that run these corporations, you know, were complaining and they're trying to stop me from advertising it. So people can see it and get it and use it. Okay, so who do you sue first? Who do you sue first when you invest in a private tax package? Well, now before I answer this, and I'm not sidestepping, I'm stepping, but not sideways. I'm stepping forward. Before I answer this, the goal of this program is to help people jumpstart their critical thinking process so they can start figuring these things out, who they need to add themselves. Now, jumpstarting your critical thinking process sounds complicated. But, you know, you can break it down. Basically, what it means is when you understand the facts, the real facts, then you should be able to kind of start figuring out who you need to be punching in the face. Okay, that might be one way to look at it. So, who do you sue first? Well, for me, it would depend on the situation. Okay, are they attacking my property with a tax lien foreclosure? Am I in? Well, let me back this up. Are they attacking my property with a tax lien foreclosure and I'm facing the eviction process and having my shit thrown out in the yard? Okay, that's one scenario where you want to be conscientious about who you add to the. Anytime in my program, most people would say defending themselves, but that's not what we do. When you're on offense in my program, okay, you need to be thinking about who it is that's trying to take your shit, who it is that's doing, you know, what corporation, and so if you're facing the tax lien situation, and you got these people that are, you know, are trying to throw your family out in the street, then you want to make sure that you get those people as defendants in your lawsuit. Okay, you want to make sure you get them as defendants in your lawsuit. So, looking at the tax situation. Okay, the recorder of deeds office has your deed recorded in their office illegally. And the recording of that deed, we covered at the top of the thing, allows all of the shit to go down that you're facing. Oh, so should I put the recorder of deeds office on there since they have your deed? Well, if you decide, because I ain't telling you what to do, I'm just educating you. If you decide to do that, I would also add their assets. The assets in, because we filed my foster kid. We're going to talk about this in the next show. $200 million lawsuit against them fools in the divorce court, in federal court, and now they got to figure out. So who do you sue first? Well, I'd add their recorder of deeds. If they're the ones that got your deed in their office. Your goal is to get your deed delivered. So if they got your deed in their office, then I am thinking that's for starters. And then whoever name's on the paperwork to register your shit in their title company. I don't know. Now keep in mind, okay, we're not trying to get crazy and have an emotional decision and add 97 people. But you want to get the top corporations, okay, that got the cha-ching chang. That's the way I see it. In my foster kids lawsuit that we filed against divorce people fools over there, okay, we're going to file less penance liens against the recorder of deeds office and the assets in that office, which are the property deeds. And in my perfect world, I don't get to live in it a lot, but I'm in it right now because the attorney running the divorce crap dropped. Okay, so now you're going to add your less penance lien with your certified federal lawsuit attached to it. You're going to file it in public. You're going to file it in the public against the recorder of deeds office. And, you might even want to add, there's a recorder of deeds association in every state. And in my opinion, that corporation is what they use to start putting your shit on the internet in everybody's face. So, and if you're non-judicial, you see you're in foreclosure. It just started like yesterday, but you already got people coming to your house. You already got these fools in your face calling you, trying to get do the cash for keys, whatever. How's that work? That works because the Register of Deeds Association it registers your shit and put it on the internet so everybody can see it. And there's a land bank in most counties. I know there's one in Shelby County, Tennessee, because Darren Woods is using my property tax package and the online course to save it and saved his grandma's. And turns out there's 400 homes that got sold in Shelby County, Tennessee, and less than 30 of them were delinquent on taxes. And they're trying to say, I don't know where the money's at. But Channel 5 Action News did a complete rundown on it, and I watched the rundown, so I know where the money's at. The money's in the land bank. Ain't nobody trying to talk about that. The money's in the land bank. Well, it used to be. And as it turns out, the people from Shelby County was trying to say, oh, we don't kick people out, we don't whatever. We only take over these properties so we don't have this eyesore in the community, whatever. And well, it turns out there was one property that was sold that was worth $14,000, and it had a $2,500 tax lien against it, and it got sold for $5,000. Oh, the city dude didn't have no comment on that. So, who do you sue first? Well, whoever's running the tax situation, whoever's holding your property deed, those are one of the top names that you want to put on there. If you're already in court, then that question is a wrap, because you want to make sure you sue the state too, because the state is actually the one that's trying to steal your property. The state's the one stealing your property. The state is the one that's paying the judge to steal your property. The state is the sub-state people. They're the ones that are doing all this stuff under the table, behind the scenes, registering your stuff, sending you letters, threatening letters, and whatever. So, now the property tax package now has 2 lawsuits in it, so you can also sue them for the mortgage fraud. Oh, no, coach, they didn't foreclose. Dude, it's mortgage fraud. Real estate deed fraud. It's fraud. I don't just go with the fraud thing because they make you prove a bunch of different shit. Okay? But, that's how you do that. And most of the time, these people, they're not worried about your ass. They're more worried about everybody else finding out what the hell's going on. Okay, so what happens after you file your lawsuit and whatever? Well, they're gonna try to stall. If you're facing a state court process, then we teach you to file the first lawsuit in the state court to crush it, because we use federal case law in all of our documents that we file in state court, and state court cannot respond to federal case law with statutes and codes. Total bullshit. Now, if you don't know that, they're going to try, and they're going to call you, they're going to screw with you, and then they're going to try to, but they can't. They're going to try and stall. So what we do is, when they stall or start their shenanigans and file their stupid shit, because they're going to ignore you. They're going to ignore everything that you filed, and they're just going to keep, trying to until you drag the happy ass over to federal court. Yeah, that's how we do that. So in the meantime, they're going to file something to ignore your stuff, and they're not even going to recognize. They're just going to file their own thing. This is what they did with my foster kid. They're just going to file their own stuff. They told him one day, "Oh, we can have your trial in 2 hours, but your foster dad can't come." And it's all right, because what you have to do is you have to object every time they file something. I mean, it's Perry Mason 101. You object every time they file something. Why are you objecting? Oh, from the fact that in a lawsuit that you filed in the first damn place. You just object. In an administrative hearing, they can't move forward without your consent, whether your consent is implied and tacit, stolen, or fake consent, or whatever. Oh, wait. So if you don't object, then you're consenting to acquiescence. I didn't know what that word means, but it fits right in there. I did look it up a long time. Because you didn't object. You just went along with the shit. Oh, they do that all the time. So people telling me, oh, well, they filed this, they did that. Now, I'm just going to file the demand for sanctions. Oh, hell no. I mean, you can do that later, but if you don't answer to their shit, then you might as well just go throw your own shit in the yard. And they make me do the same thing. Look at this big ass thick bunch of crap that we filed in oops, it's upside down. That we filed in state court. All of this stuff, pages and pages of stuff. And you know what? When we got ready to move our asses over to federal court, I sent my foster kid down to get a copy of, to get a certified copy of the lawsuit so we could use it before we paid the $400 to file in federal court. And the lady down there liked him, man. So she'd already been hooking us up, and so she hooked him up. She told him, instead of giving him that, she gave him a certified copy of the entire docket sheet. It was badass. I ain't lying. I never thought about jamming the ass up with a certified copy of the entire state court docket sheet. Oh, when he brought it back, he said, well, I didn't get what you told me to get, Dad, but this is, I'm like, oh, no, let's take a look at what we got. What the hell is, oh. Of course, he was like, so how'd I do? I'm like, dude, this is badass. I'm just gonna tell you right up front. I should have told you to get this in the first damn place. So now we have the entire certified copy of the entire state docket sheet, and we filed that in the $200 million lawsuit and I told the lady I wanted to file it as evidence. And she said, as an exhibit? And I said, yes, as an exhibit of evidence. Here, let me write that on. I'm on your ass. And as an exhibit? Yeah, as an exhibit of evidence. Now, why didn't she say evidence? Why didn't she say exhibit of evidence? Because I'm talking about evidence. I don't give a shit about the exhibit shit. That's her. So I say, yeah, but it don't matter. I mean, what she actually puts on the thing or put on it, whatever. Okay, because here's the thing. They ignored everything that we filed, and they didn't serve my foster kid. They didn't serve him. He never been served. They didn't serve him because they already knew that he had filed the marriage dissolution document and it was kicking their butt. So when you invest in the property tax package, it comes with 2 different lawsuits, and I'm pretty sure that I included the offer to pay letter in there too. Like I said, that package is headed over to the online course. That's property management and asset protection. And it's going to have everything, and it's going to be like $9 million, but it's going to have everything in it. And then you got the lawsuit that you can go after them for the real estate deed fraud. You ain't letting them off the hook. Now, the offer to pay letter is totally off the chain, and it's in both of the premium package. It's in the premium foreclosure defense package, and it's also in the property tax package. And so there's a statute that says when they call in the total amount, the full instrument, the total amount of the loan, okay, they have to provide you with the original instrument of indebtedness to be able to do that. So, and we have the statute. I don't know anybody else that knows about this. And so it's in our premium package. And this is how we challenge the mortgage fraud, the foreclosure shit, this is how we challenge that shit before you're in default. Okay? Now, the reason that the statute is there is because the statute, they're supposed to follow, not us. Okay? They're supposed to follow that shit to make it fair for us. The reason the statute is there is because if they call in the full loan amount and they don't provide you with the original instrument of indebtedness, somebody else one of their buddies down the street can be coming after you tomorrow or next week, next month, or whatever. Okay, so I know, blah, blah. Let me tell you how this works. Okay, so you take the offer to pay letter and you serve it on their ass. I would send it to them certified mail. I would serve it. If I was like in heat, if I was like getting about to get pushed off the cliff, I would just serve it on their ass. But otherwise, you could just send it. You could send it to them as certified mail so that you have confirmation that they received it. And who's they? The foreclosure judge, the clerk, sheriff department. But there's not a case yet. I know, and there ain't gonna be one if you do the shit right. That's why we're doing this. Okay, but so here's how this works. In every place, I'm not gonna say state. I'm gonna say place because we're breaking it down smaller than the states. Okay, there's a team of assholes who screw people over. There's a team of assholes who do the foreclosure. The judges, the attorneys, there's a team of assholes who do that shit. And it don't take a whole lot of research to figure out what judge is the one in charge of the, at the end of the day, okay, and I'm going to throw this in for the people that are conventional thinkers. At the end of the day, the chief judge, whoever the hell's in, it don't matter. It don't matter, okay, because when they get the offer to pay letter and they see you're offering to pay, your legal team said that you're willing to pay whatever they want, plus, I actually put in an extra 20%. As soon as their asses can show up with your legal team with the original instrument of indebtedness as the statute calls for. Now, y'all ass know they can't do that. They can't do that because they bundled that shit up and they sold it to China. I don't know. Everybody worried about China taking over our property, whatever. China ain't taking over shit. All they got is the funky ass paper that they screwed you with. You live on the property and you don't own it either. And they trying to take it from you. I'm just saying. So now the offer to pay letter backs their ass in the corner. It's certified. Everybody got copies, signed, sealed, and delivered. So when they come to you, hey, you didn't pay your stuff. You're in default now. We're gonna foreclose on you. Oh, yeah, you guys better go look at that letter that we served everybody. Okay? Because my legal team said we're still willing to sit down at the table and sign all that shit and pay you whatever you want as soon as you come out with what the law says your asses are supposed to have. Oh, could that block the foreclosure process down the road? Well, if it don't, and they foreclosed on you or whatever, and they got a court case and they got a judge, is the same judge you send stuff to? Well, it don't matter because you sent that shit to a judge over there, and now instead of filing your lawsuit for the foreclosure shit and all that crap and all that stuff, your lawsuit can be filed against the judge that signed to drag your happy ass in their administrative hearing after you already proved that they don't have what the court needs to do this. A lot of thinking went into this, all right? And everybody that invested in the online course or, the $1,500 package got the letter. And I don't think none of y'all used it. I don't think many people used it because everybody's all here all worried about the conventional shit, jumping through their hoops and doing all that stuff. So this is like setting yourself up to punch their ass in the face later again. And you haven't even filed your stuff, so why should you have to fight stuff? Could you make them go sit their ass down and leave you alone? We got people doing it. It's not the people that don't take the time. Okay, it's not the people that can't get over to the Twitter. It's not the people who aren't willing to do whatever it takes. Okay, I'm sorry. I get a little wound up. If your ass ain't willing to do whatever it takes, you're in the wrong place. And we ain't going to get along. I'm not going to get along with you if you invest in the premium package, and when we talk on the phone, I have to listen to you. Okay? Y'all ass should be listening to what I got to say, because what I'm telling you is accumulated from the real-time feedback from a lot of people that help me do what we're doing right now. Okay? And after our conversation, then most people should go back and sit down after they took some notes and apply that stuff to their situation. Did I get the lawsuit filed in the eviction court? Did I get the lawsuit filed in the state court also? Did I get the people served? Did I get there's all of these things? Because if you invested in my premium package and your ass is sweating, it's because something didn't go right. And it ain't the paperwork. I'm just saying, it ain't the paperwork. So the property tax package is probably the best deal. I got it on sale right now for $250. It was $900. It's on $250 right now for people who are serious. And well, I'm going to mark it down when the stream is done, and then I'll just leave it for a 24-hour period. I was going to have it on earlier today until the stream was done tonight. Didn't shut that puppy off, but you know, I got a little tied up at my other job, installing some beds and stuff for the Airbnb that I'm employed with at this undisclosed location. But my boss is a badass, so I'm good with it. Okay, so shattered by corruption, and for the new people, my girlfriend wrote this book. She's like my ex-wife, but she's still kind of my girlfriend, and she's still my best friend. So, and this is a little bit about what we went through to put us where we are now, so to speak. This is just a little tiny bit, and you know, there's the back of the book. Now, this is a bestseller on Amazon. It don't cover all that we went through, but you know, when Carrie files her lawsuit in federal court, we'll be able to provide one of these for the judge to go read. Oh, yeah. And you know what? Yeah, I got another book. Think Again, Adam Grant. This guy helps people learn how to unthink what they've learned how to think, unthought what they think, unthink what they thought. Mm-hmm. All of the stuff that people been through in their life, because it's not helping them right now. It's not helping you right now because your brain's working off of old information. Yep. And last but not least, Hood Nation on Ecstasy. My nieces is, because there's three of them, and my sister. They make these products they make all kind of cool stuff. They make products for all the NFL teams, mugs, coffee tables, TV trays, all kind of stuff. And they make them for other teams. Well, I said this before. They make them for other teams that haven't won the Super Bowl as many times as the Chiefs won. But we kind of got beat up in the last one. And I didn't know we're going to be back again anytime soon. So I got mine over here. Y'all head over to Hood Nation on Ecstasy and and support my nieces and my sister over there. Okay, let's just we're just gonna start at the top and say hi to everybody again before we switch over to the other show because we're on a little behind. Yeah, everybody's stuff went up, man. Most people it went up more than 20%. So you need to get your deed out the office and stop that shit. Good evening, Eddie. Monique, hit me up in the group. Yeah, I have people think I'm grumpy or mean because I'm kind of pushy about the time thing too, especially when I talk to people. When I talk to people, I have to ask the questions and understand what I need to know if I need to know stuff. Most of the stuff that people want to tell me is not stuff that we need to know. Oh, Metalhead, I don't know. I'm gonna let you need to Google that. I'm gonna let you Google that, okay? I'm a coach. I'm like a professor, okay? You can't be asking me what to do. So I'm thinking if you had somebody, do you have to serve them? I don't know. You gotta look that up, man. You gotta figure that out. Figure that out. Yep. Dominica, you gotta object, not respond. I mean, you're in the right neighborhood, but I'm just being specific because some people think they need to respond with the demand for sanctions or with the demand to strike or with the whatever. Now, after you crush their ass with the reason why you're here in the first place, because that's what happens when they try, then you can do the other stuff. But if you don't object to their shit, then they're just going to keep on moving forward. What they're going to do is they're going to keep on filing stuff, whatever, and they're going to get you over here and over there, over here, and then they're going to go back and dismiss that shit for what got filed, last month that you didn't object to. I talked to a lot of people, so I know how that goes. So that's it on the property tax. We running way late on the other thing. So we're gonna shut this one down, and then we're gonna start the next live stream because the next one's gonna be a whole lot more fun. And we beating up on a freaking divorce attorney. So you guys hang around. I'll be right back.